fighting for freedom over land and air. G.I. Joe, a real American podcast. G.I. Joe is there.
Smoking crack, smoking weed. What's up, Dallas Baldwin? How are you doing today?
That was the second time I got herpes.
Holy shit. Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen, we're off to a hot start.
Oh, is mic on?
What? Mic's on, dude. We're here with a brand new series, dude. Yo Joe, a real American podcast. I'm Kevin Porter, Dallas Baldwin. Dude, we're here, dude. We're reviewing G.I. Joe. We finally made it.
Yo Joe.
Yo Joe, dude. We're gonna be a household name in no time.
Working up to it. Quick shout out, much love to the guys at G.I. Joeberg. They were the ones that kind of rekindled this love of G.I. Joe for me almost 10 years ago now, and I've been watching that show ever since. Those guys are great if you haven't seen them, but definitely check them out. After watching our show, of course.
Yeah, you gotta watch us first. I know, dude. I was telling you before we recorded. Dude, it's good because we've had this plan for a little bit, dude. Like, because obviously, if you're a fan of ours, that means you're obviously a fan of the podcast in disguise, our sister podcast, I guess you would say, more or less,
Flagship Saturday morning
cartoon. Flagship Saturday morning podcast, dude. And this is our flagship Sunday morning podcast, dude, as you're listening to it. If you're listening to it on the day that this episode comes out.
They give you something to do all weekend.
Yeah, dude. But I was saying, dude, I was on YouTube the other day. I've been watching a lot of G.I. Joe stuff, and all of a sudden this trailer popped up for this new YouTube page, and it was a page dedicated to G.I. Joe. And I was like, oh, fuck, Dallas, no. Dude, we're about ready to start our own retrospective. So I was like, dude, we got competition now, dude, because weekly we're going back-to-back episodes, dude.
You gotta beat that algorithm game.
He already had like 2,000 views and shit. I was like, fuck. We gotta step our game up, Dallas.
So yeah, like and subscribe because we don't want to die as customer service representatives.
Yeah, dude. Don't let us die that death, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe. Let us pay the bills with our obsession with G.I. Joe. So, damn.
That would just make my freaking life.
Be like, dude, you just walk in there one day, you're like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, I'm out. So let's go ahead and jump into the very first episode, which is like the pilot episode, right? So this is a 4-part series. We kick off with the Cobra Strikes, Dallas.
And much in typical Sunbow fashion when it comes to a toy property, they didn't waste any time. They start right out with the gate with an awesome one. And in a lot of ways, it seemed a little more organic the way they introduced the characters than they did in the Transformers. I will, full disclosure, I'm a little bit biased between the two when it comes to G.I. Joe versus Transformers. But they didn't have as many characters to introduce. And they did a really good job showing, how reliable each of them are and what their personalities and skill sets were like. They fleshed those characters out without too much tongue-in-cheek exposition. You got Duke, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, all-American leader.
Did you read my bio?
Yeah. Didn't you read my bio? Man of action.
I'm a man of action, dude.
Translation, I'm a Chad.
Shit, dude.
And I stand 8 feet away from the urinal when I take a whiz.
My dick is so big.
I just have the range.
I know, dude. He's just able to hit it. He's like, go under.
Yeah. Breaker and Clutch would be at the other two, standing right up and next to him like you do. Duke's just 8 feet back, just aiming. What are you doing, Duke? Didn't you read my bio? Man of action.
The man of action pisses across the room and does not spill a single drop.
Establishes dominance.
Yeah, this is me establishing dominance right now. Holy shit, dude.
Starts out with her talking about the brand new, little bit of toy advertisement on their end. They're talking about the brand new Sky Striker and how awesome it is.
Oh, that's complete. Them selling a commercial right there.
Oh,
that's them. That's the commercial within the commercial within the commercial.
Yep, and that was right about the time that the XP-14 Sky Striker did come out, which was an awesome vehicle.
It's like, Mom, Dad, come on, dude.
And showed how awesome the F-14 Tomcat was almost 3 years before Top Gun even came out.
Oh, shit. That shit predated Top Gun?
Yeah, it's... The XP-14F was their take on the F-14 Tomcat with a little slightly different design, but it was the 2-seater swing-wing jet. And it was totally based on the F-14. A lot of Joe vehicles were based on real-world vehicles early on. before they started
Oh,
getting
you got to
into
get
more.
that authenticity in there, dude.
And that was when the series started. That's kind of initially what they intended. You look at the original 13 Joes that they came out with. They were mostly just Green Army men with some varying faces and different style. The only ones that really stood out from the group were Stalker, who was really the only one in true camouflage.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Snake Eyes, who was just called Commando, the code name Snake Eyes, and this was before he was established as a ninja or anything like that. He was a guy in a black suit with a black balaclava and goggles, and he carried an Uzi.
Well, it's like, dude, when he like makes his entrance on the base, dude, and he's all on that zip line, you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's such an awesome character, and I know people can't actually see us here, but on my left arm, I actually do have the Arashikage tattoo.
Holy shit, Dallas. Holy shit.
But that shows the level of dedication to G.I. Joe. That
Yeah, people know that you do not fuck around when it comes to G.I. Joe, bro. Yo Joe is life for you, dude. For life.
yeah, and that was the original run, and so they wanted a series of vehicles to go with them. You know, obviously for Green Army men, you need some jeeps and tanks and jet fighters and helicopters and stuff like that. So they copied like the UH or the AH-1 Cobra helicopter. I think they probably thought, hey, Cobra are the bad guys, so we can't call this helicopter the Cobra or the Huey Cobra because that's going to confuse kids.
Now it's good. I mean, like, dude, but Dad, it's the Cobra. No, it's the good Cobra.
So they're like, well, let's redesign the tail a little bit so Bell Helicopter doesn't sue us, and we'll call it the Dragonfly.
Hey, it works for me, dude.
And then the F-14, well, we can't call it that. So it's the XP F-14.
That'll teach him. Like,
And we'll just angle out the rear airfoils a little to the side.
sure.
And now it's
Little
a Sky
design
Strike.
change. It's not going to hurt anything.
And then they had a cool little motorcycle with a sidecar minigun called the Ram.
Oh, that'd be badass, dude.
I have one of those. You can get them pretty cheap.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. I know. I took a look online, dude, just looking at like old original like vehicles from G.I. Joe on eBay, and there was like one of those full like, because you always see the thing like the one thing I wanted as a kid was like the G.I. Joe fucking like the naval base or whatever with
That aircraft carrier.
the aircraft carrier,
The
yeah,
flag.
dude, fucking it was like $25,000 like unopened. I'm just like, no, who the fuck is spending $25,000 on this shit?
I can only imagine a new in-box flag.
That's what I'm saying. It was like fucking. They wanted.
Your best bet's to
So
find
much.
one in pieces and build it up over time. That's
Right.
about the only affordable way to do it. And as much as I'd love to, I just do not have the space in my home to contain one of those bad boys.
Damn, dude. I don't think I'd have the space. I mean, I just put it on our podcast
I mean,
table. We'll be like, we can't do the podcast anymore because I have a space fucking military fucking
You almost have to
shit.
buy another house for that thing.
Serious? Is that big?
It's about 5 feet long. To this day, I think it may be the biggest playset ever released for an action figure line.
Holy shit, dude.
I mean, it's mostly just it's made of that playset material, kind of like, children's fun houses and stuff that you find at toy stores are.
Like a foam type base?
No, it's kind of like a really tough ABS plastic.
Okay.
And then they have the trusses that they sit on, and then you use kind of like it's almost like a rain gutter, multiple piece of plastic that forms the hole on the outside. And then the con tower and everything slides in from the other side. I've never seen one in person.
I've never seen one in person. I don't remember any
had some
kids ever
friends that have
having
seen
one.
some at like vintage toy stores in other
Yeah.
parts of the country that have taken pictures for me. But the guys in G.I. Joeberg actually got one a while back, and they modified it greatly, and it made it really cool.
Really? I gotta check that shit out. Dude.
Yeah,
That's fucking badass, dude.
but yeah, it's about 5 feet long
Holy
from
shit.
front to back.
Holy shit, dude. That quite possibly could be the biggest fucking thing that they've ever released.
I think it was the biggest
Yeah.
playset to this day. Still, I mean, that was them really jumping the shark. And GI Joe had some amazing, very large playsets that came in over the time. We'll cover those bit by bit as we come to them throughout the series.
Sure.
But yeah, it was as the line expanded, they got more fanciful with their designs. It got more wild. They started including ninjas into it, and
Whoa.
it was mostly due to the writing of Larry Hama, who did a lot of the comic books and did all the bios for the characters, and did some of the writing for the cartoon too. And he was a Vietnam veteran.
Oh, no shit.
And he didn't really want to tell like a glorified, military good, everything else bad, capitalism good, not this is Reagan's America. I think he wanted to, because it's definitely, when it comes to the comics and the bios and things, it's definitely more grounded. As far as, like the cartoons, obviously over the top. It's a 20-minute commercial.
Pretty much, yeah.
But there were times where it would show like really emotional moments in the comics and show like the cost of war and things like that. People would die. There was no plot arc.
Like real life shit, yeah.
And he didn't try to glorify things. It was kind of cool, and he was a great writer.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, we're in the long haul. We're gonna see those episodes, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
Yo Joe, fucking episode 1.
At the
Cobra
time of this
Strikes.
recording, by the time this airs, we will have already met him. But in 4 days or 3 days now, we're gonna be meeting Sergeant Slaughter.
Dude, it's a dream come true.
Yeah,
I showed you my copy of WrestleMania 7. I'm gonna get him to sign.
that's gonna be so awesome.
I'm so excited, dude. Dude. And then hopefully we get him to do a bump for the show, dude.
That'd be
So
cool,
every time
dude.
you see the episode, just fucking, this is Sergeant Slaughter.
That'd be so cool.
You're listening to Yo Joe.
Even in those days, because unlike Transformers, G.I. Joe was still going strong when I was a little kid.
Me too, yeah.
It ran all the way up into about the mid-90s before the series was canceled.
I was gonna say, dude, because I remember I know my mom told me I was into G.I. Joe. I know I had that Sergeant Slaughter, like the original Sergeant Slaughter toy. And I know I watched G.I. Joe, but Transformers, yeah, that was like, again, like we talked about on our sister podcast, like that was something I got into when I was like 30. Because I was like, oh, I've never watched this. I should watch
Transformers, the cartoon in America ran up into about 89.
Which is right around the
And
time I would have been watching cartoons.
That's when they started what they call Generation 2 or Gen 2. And that was basically just repaints and re-releases of the Transformer characters.
Oh, really?
And that went up until about 93.
Oh,
So they
okay.
were still around, but the
pretty cool.
popularity for Transformers had kind of waned by that point. But G.I. Joe...
Poor Optimus Prime.
And a lot of those Gen 2 figures were kind of cool, and they had a lot of really cool, very 90s commercials for some of them, if you look them up. But G.I. Joe had lasting power. It made it all the way up into the 90s before they finally just kind of ran out of gas. And
That's when X-Men all comes out. They're like, what's up,
I mean,
G.I. Joe?
Some people, if you talk to purists too, they'll say G.I. Joe was all the way from the 60s, all the way.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah.
Because that's when the first, 12-inch,
Oh, we know all about those 12-inch fucking G.I. Joe
don't
action
remind
figures.
me.
Shout out, watch the brand new episode of Spin This with Kevin Porter premiering April 20th.
But those 12-inch G.I. Joes that started in the 60s were always popular with kids. A Real American Hero they didn't even want to do a 3 3/4-inch scale figure line. But it came about because of the gas crisis around that time. Prices of oil and consequently the plastic it was made from it had become more expensive. So they're like, we're not selling enough of these to justify the cost of them. So let's scale them down. We can make G.I. Joe, soldier toys, but they'll be at 3 3/4 scale, O-ring figure style. And we can still have vehicles for them like Jeeps and shit like that. And that was kind of how A Real American Hero was born, because Larry Hama, who was a writer for him at the time, was like, I need to give these characters personalities and stuff, or kids aren't going to really care.
You're like just smoking cigarettes and drinking beer and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking with their
New PTSD G.I. Joe. He sits in a corner and stares through the wall,
Stares through the wall.
reliving nightmares of battles long past.
Ah!
Drink the beer to make the pain go away.
Smoke your cigarette, little kid.
Hit your son when he says he wants to join the army.
Don't do it, son.
I've seen some things and some stuff, man. I wouldn't recommend it.
Shut up, Dad. Whack. I guess we got. I'm definitely happy that we went over like a lot of the history there. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep going on that episode, because like fuck, we're barely into the first fucking scene when they're establishing all the characters and fucking Cobra all shows up.
Yep. And so yeah, the Sky Striker lands and damn near clips Duke's head. Duke's like, "Oh, I'm gonna knock the mustard out of that hot dog," and he goes running up on it like, "Hey, laser brain or bacteria breath, you nearly clipped me." And then it turns out it's their very capable martial arts secret agent lady, Scarlet, who is an awesome character.
Yeah, Duke's just like, look at the tits on her.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Scarlet is a looker.
Sure.
There is no doubt that uniform is...
Ooh-wee.
That is not military regulation.
She got special permission on that one.
Joe has always played fast and loose with uniform regs.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of their thing, dude. They're a special force, so they're able to have casual fucking Friday every day.
Their internal detective wears a vacation shirt with his army green army pants and combat boots.
Hey, man. It's a good look.
Scarlet apprises them that they're going to be launching a new satellite which will help them monitor things and relay information on Earth. So Duke and some of the others go to the base and get led around by the general who's explaining how the satellite works. And, of course, they have to have the bitchy bureaucrat major who's whining about all the tax money that got wasted into this. And she's immediately just a dislikable character.
She's real ugly, too, dude.
Yeah.
Real fucking ugly. Real dog of a face.
Anyone that's ever served in the military and had to deal with a bureaucratic asshole officer.
Bro, that's my stepmom, bro. Right there, dude.
a paper pusher that just has no sense of humor.
My mom had always said, dogs gotta walk, Dallas.
And that, and that dog did walk.
Oh, she walked.
She walked.
Away with all my dad's money. Buzzing!
Childhood trauma.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude.
And so the general's explaining, well, we don't think that anyone can break into this installation. And Duke's like, well, the G.I. Joe team hasn't given it a try yet. And the general informs him, that's actually exactly why you're here. Because we want the G.I. Joe team to break in here. And that'll prove, if at least if you guys can do it, then we know where our security faults are. And it'll make it impenetrable for anyone trying to steal the satellite. So Duke has a portion of the team crack into the base using live ammunition and causing real explosions. And
that's when Snake Eyes all comes in.
yeah,
dude.
Snake Eyes comes shuffling up a power cable, and Stalker drives a motorcycle right through the gate and fires a minigun at friendly forces, and then bails off the thing halfway into a fuel dump, causing a massive explosion.
It makes for a very impressive first episode.
It definitely, it's impressive as hell. Especially when he jumps off that thing and does a flip onto the rooftop. And
shit, dude.
It, just shows how agile and badass Stalker is as a character.
Yeah, Stalker fucking fucks, dude. Hardcore.
In his bio, he was a former gang warlord from Detroit.
Oh, he fucks hardcore even more, dude. Holy shit, dude.
And he decided, Lonzo Wilkinson was his name, and decided that he didn't want to be about that life anymore. So he decided to join the Army, went through Ranger School, and became the G.I. Joe team's first real established Ranger. And one of the earliest leaders of the team, too.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Well, dude, he got off the street life, dude, and became a Yo Joe, dude.
Yep.
G.I. Joe. Yo Joe.
And they'll usually refer to him in the series as Stalker or Sergeant Stalker. But next to Duke, he has quite a bit of authority.
Yeah, when Sergeant Slaughter rolled in, he's like, not today, son.
It shifts
We're
a bit as
dropping
the series
that.
goes on. But Stalker's actually seen less as later goes on, but that's kind of how it goes.
He got a desk job, dude. He just kind of took it easy, dude.
He hit his retirement,
Dude, get that pension, dude.
Yep,
Come on.
Exactly.
You gotta do it.
But they reveal it, we then cut away to meet the enemy for the first time, to a very ominous looking castle in the fictional country of Transcarpathia.
Oh, that's original.
Yeah.
Transcarpathia. Transylvania? No, Transcarpathia.
Yeah. The Carpathian Mountains in Transylvania.
Right.
Which is in Romania.
Shit. Fucking Cobra fucking Commander, dude. Come on.
But yeah, I guess they didn't. I guess they were trying to be apolitical by not naming a specific country.
Sure.
They do that many times throughout both Transformers.
Well, it
and
makes
G.I.
sense
Joe.
with all the vehicles, changing the names and everything. I mean, it's kind of on point.
I mean, not like a country can sue them, but they can definitely throw a fit if they're.
Dracula shows up. This is my country!
But and it also kind of sets the stage for it being ominous, because this hooded figure shows up, and his superstitious men servants that are carrying supplies are freaking out because cobras emerge from the ground and start writhing. It turns out they're mechanical and they're part of a lock system to get into the castle. He walks up to.
It's pretty futuristic.
Yep, it's very futuristic, hidden in an ancient design, which was kind of a very stylistic choice for
Fucking
Cobra.
Elon Musk, eat your heart out, Jesus.
Well, even Destro calls it out, saying, you've wasted untold amount of money on this melodramatic location, Cobra Commander.
You could just tell right from the beginning Destro and fucking Cobra Commander right now.
Oh,
At fucking odds, dude.
The only reason they get along is because Cobra Commander buys weapons from Destro.
Well, you gotta have a working relationship, right?
Yeah, and that's the only reason Destro gives him the time of day is because he gives him money. Destro, much like the relationship between Starscream and Megatron,
Sure.
Destro is constantly trying to undermine or sell out Cobra Commander.
I feel like Destro has more balls than fucking Starscream, though,
Destro
dude.
definitely has more balls, and Destro leads his own army that aren't revealed quite yet, but he has Mars Industries, Military Armaments Research Syndicate, and controls his own army of very, very Scottish soldiers called Iron Grenadiers.
Hey, dude, I gotta defend the homeland, dude. Come on.
Yep, and according to Sunbow Animation, every Scottish person in the world sounds like Sean Connery, which is why Destro always talks like this.
Dude, that's exactly what he sounds like, though. That's what they all sound like.
You fool, Cobra Commander!
You a fool!
And Destro reveals to Cobra Commander that he has gathered the 3 catalytic elements needed to power what they call the mass device, which is a device that controls mass.
Makes sense. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I get it, dude. I know science, Dallas.
It's a teleportation device, essentially. They can pull one thing from one place to another. But in order to make it work long range, they need to control the satellite that the Joes are currently reviewing with the Army. So Destro says, instead of transporting the satellite there, we'll just transport a bunch of soldiers and tanks over to them, and they can take it by force.
Dude, on paper, it makes sense.
And that's when that bitchy bureaucrat major reveals itself to be not the ugly, nasty bureaucrat.
Fucking
but
dog, dude. Fucking dog.
she tears
face.
off the mask and has a very bad Eastern European accent.
It's fucking Baroness, bro. She's
Yeah,
fucking...
but it's the Baroness who, everything else is forgiven because the Baroness is really hot.
Yeah, I mean, no, dude, look at those tits. Come on. Dude, they drew those tits on all the women so nice. Dude. Thank you for our childhood, Hasbro.
Thank you, Floridary.
Thank you for it. Or is he one of the animators?
Yep.
Okay. Fuck, dude. Nah, dude. They fuck, dude. They fuck.
And yeah, it's the Cobra troopers show up and they steal the satellite and get transported back. And just as Duke and everyone else had turned the tide and were about to kick their cans.
It was a pretty big battle too.
Yeah,
dude.
they showed up and they
forth,
just
dude.
came uncorked.
They had Duke all bust out a handgun. I'm just like, dude, you're gonna need more than that, dude.
Nah, it's Duke. He can do it with a handgun.
Well, they went and got better guns, and then they beat the shit out of him.
They did run back and get better guns.
They fucked him up, dude.
And then Cobra was like, okay, we give up, we surrender. And then the Baroness realizes all Cobra Commander has to do is transport him back. Our surrender has been canceled. And the only problem is
that's like
Duke,
Iran right now. They're like, it's been canceled, America. Fucking.
and Iran's been canceled.
You think you've been canceled yet? wait till tomorrow. You'll be the most canceled country in all of countries.
Everybody said I'm doing the best.
I am the best dictator of all. That's what we call a callback, Dallas. But that was pretty cool how Duke fucking he shows up and just like
Duke realizes he's been transported to the Silent Castle in Transcarpathia and wastes no time in immediately starting to kick ass all over the place.
Yeah, he fucking
completely outnumbered, out of his element and out of his war zone. He doesn't give a shit. He just immediately starts Chuck Norrising his way. Chuck Norris, R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace, Chuck. Chuck and D. What?
He immediately just starts beating ass all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's not until they put a headband on him and kind of short circuit his brain.
Got him in that proper. He got that 5G treatment, dude.
Yep, he got that 5G treatment.
Yeah, dude.
They throw him in a cell with the other.
I'll scroll Facebook.
They throw him in with the other slaves and tell him that he's going to be doomed to the arena of sport, which is basically just him and Destro, Cobra Commander and Destro playing with Atari controllers, making their slaves fight like video game characters.
2 buttons. That's all it takes, dude, to control the human body.
Yep, 2 buttons. Hey, to be fair, that actually looked really fun.
Dude, I mean, that's where video games are going, dude. You got the PS5 next. It's
They-
brain
they're
implant
gonna
chips.
assign you your own person to control.
You can't trust Elon Musk, dude. That neurotechnology, like, you can't trust that.
I don't want to.
Dad, I hate this game.
Too bad, Jimmy. Keep kicking the car.
Ah!
This will teach you to mouth off to your mom.
It's like, dude, you like want to send your kid to go get cigarettes for you. You're just like, here's his letter, and I'm gonna control you there, dude. I'm with you the whole way, Jimmy. You fuck up and jump in front of a car. No! Game over.
Oh, that got dark.
Welcome to Yo Joe, a fucking real American podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
But Duke, you know, he fights in the arena of sport against this gigantic, like 10-foot tall barbarian monstrosity.
Yeah, dude, imagine the size of the cock on that guy.
Oh yeah, no, I think that was his cut name from the show.
Size of cock.
Barbarian Thundercock.
Barbarian Thundercock. Cock of size.
But Duke actually holds his own against the guy, and that's about where the episode ends.
You leave it on a cliffhanger,
It shows Destro and Cobra Commander saying, "Sport can wait. We have other things to do." So they just put their video game down and send Duke off to be back in the slave pens.
No, so it wasn't a fight to the death.
It wasn't a fight to the death, at least not yet. They're
not
planning
yet.
on resuming later.
They just pressed pause.
Yeah, they just press pause.
Like, whatever,
And
dude.
that's it. They decide to use their new toy and the new satellite to steal the Eiffel Tower from the French.
Yeah, you can see like they targeted the French definitely and stealing. Imagine all the people that were on the Eiffel Tower when they transported it. They were like, "Oh shit, I'm in Transcarpathia or whatever, dude. What the fuck?
What am I doing in Transcarpathia?
What am I doing here, dude?" And then yeah, they showed him in London, and then they showed him in America. So I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
it's all the proper allies in 1983."
Yep, they're hitting NATO hard.
Yeah, they are.
I think at one point in one of the other episodes they mentioned the Soviet premiere.
Do they?
And so yeah, they're hitting the Soviet Union too. So it's not like they're taking sides in the Cold War.
Oh no, dude! Fucking Cobra wants it all, dude. You know, you heard that song, "I Want It All." That's Cobra, dude.
What is it you want? I want it all.
Give it to me.
Oh wait, wrong show.
I want all the power.
One of the few good moments in GI Joe Retaliation.
Shit. All right, Dallas. Well, that was fucking the very first episode, the Cobra Strikes. That was a pretty good episode, dude. Nice way to kick off the show.
Yep. And yep, we'll be meeting Sergeant Slaughter. Hopefully, by the time this airs, we'll have met him. We'll have a pretty cool bump to launch this episode for.
Yeah, so stay tuned for episode 2 to hear all about our meeting with Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, we may not even get to the episode. It's probably going to be that
We're just gonna be like, dude, we're skipping episode 2. We're going straight to 3 next week. Yeah, dude. Well, all right, man. I'm Kevin Porter for Dallas Baldwin. We'll see you guys next time on Yo Joe, a real American podcast.
Yo, Joe.